name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the one God, amen. Welcome everyone to a new series about Ask Abouna, or Ask Father, questions. So today's topic will be talking about dating, and dating is a very interesting topic that a lot of our youth ask, should we or shouldn't we be dating? And if you are one of those youth, today or this episode will be for you, or anyone who is thinking of it, or even if maybe your parents are talking about you about this subject, maybe you should bring them over and let them watch with you today. So my question today is, are you dating? Is it dating, or is it called courting? Or maybe later on an engagement? What is the meaning of dating? What is a suitable age to date, if it is our understanding of Christian dating? If you're dating, are you doing it behind your parents' back? And I know a lot of youth do that. Do they approve, or don't they? When you go out in dates, is it one-on-one, or is it a group that you go out with? It's a lot of interesting questions, maybe even more. And today we have three wonderful youth who are our guests, and then we're going to discuss this topic with them, like an answering question episode. So if they can kindly introduce themselves one by one, tell us their names and which church they come from.
Hi, my name is Angela Masiha, and I go to St. Mary's, East Brunswick in New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Christine Khalil, and I also go to St. Mary's, East Brunswick in New Jersey.
Hi, my name is Mark William, and I go to St. Mary's Coptic Orthodox Church, East Brunswick, New Jersey.
Okay, guys, so if we're talking about Christian dating, what do you think of dating in your own mind?
So nowadays, like us youth in church, we say, "Oh, I'm with someone" or "I'm dating someone," and basically the idea is like they like each other, and they call it like pre-engagement kind of period. It's not really defined, but like most of the youth right now consider it as the pre-engagement. So when we say dating, how are we supposed to look at dating as Christians?
Okay, so I think maybe I can ask you another question. What is dating? What do you think people say about dating? Not Christian dating, but I know around us, in the culture, and the people around us, they view dating so different from our understanding as dating. So what do you think of the culture around us, the Western culture here in the US? How is dating to them?
I think sometimes it could be considered just something for fun, getting to know someone in a more personal way, but it's not really, there's not always that marriage goal at the end of it.
It could just be like the title, like just being like, oh, that's my boyfriend, oh, that's my girlfriend. Honestly, it depends on the person.
But is boyfriend and girlfriend considered dating?
Yes.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you say this is my
Say
boyfriend,
this is my boyfriend, then you're dating.
you're dating. And dating, what does dating mean? What do you do in dating?
Because getting to know someone on a deeper level than just friendship, sharing stories, like secrets, I guess, like just, all of that.
So what would be the purpose of going out and knowing someone? What's the main purpose?
I mean, the right way, if we're talking about dating, the right way in my eyes, because it's different for everyone, but if someone is going out with someone individually, it's because they are trying to get to know them more on a personal level to achieve the end goal of marriage, essentially.
Okay, so the purpose of dating is marriage at the end.
Yes.
Okay, so is it okay to go from one date to another? Or should we, what I mean is, if we're looking at the right person, and you've prayed for it, and you think that this is the right person, you move forward, and you want to know this person more. Is this the right person for marriage. This will be at the back of your mind before moving on, isn't that right? Or you're just by chance saying, oh, well, this person likes me. Why don't I go out and date? Why don't I go out and just have some fun? What do you think?
So you can never tell that this is the right person to be with in the future. So if you say, "Oh, I like this girl and I see myself being with her in the future," then the dating comes in play in this case. So you say, "Oh, we're gonna like talk, spend time with each other," and that's what we consider dating in at least in like our youth, outside of the culture.
Would you actually involve your parents before dating?
I think there's like this brief period before you become official, like the talking period. And in that time, that's when you like are getting to know them, but you're not official or anything. So I think that's like when you don't involve your parents, at least like that's what it's kind of been like. Like people are more hesitant until it becomes more official. But I guess, I mean, I would hope that once you become official, that you feel comfortable enough to tell your parents.
Okay, I agree with you. I think that's really important. You want to say
So,
something?
Abuna, we hear all of this talk about what dating is and how it's appropriate and everything. And we talk to our fathers of confession about it. We talk to our like youth servants about it. We talk to our parents about it. But what does the Bible specifically say about dating?
Okay, so this is really, really important, and there's a lot of information that the Bible talks about. And I'll give you an example from Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 24. It says, "For this reason, a man will leave his father and his mother and be united with his wife, and they will become one flesh." So if we talk about relationships and dating, I think the main goal is that when you are looking for a specific person, do not date until you make sure that this person is the right person for you. Otherwise, you're going to jump from one to another. It's going to be like a roller coaster going up and down, and you're going to play with the other person's emotions, or he will play or she will play with your emotions. And this is so wrong. So we don't want to get to that point. Our main goal of dating is marriage. Okay, we got that clear. And in Genesis, that was clear. And of course, the basis of all this relationship is love. And St. Paul speaks about this in his first book in Corinthians, chapter 13. He says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps on no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres." So these are all characteristics to measure your relationship with that person. Love is a sacrifice. And if this pure love is in your relationship in dating, so the Bible is very clear that this is the basis of this relationship. It has to be a godly relationship. You have to involve the church, your confession father. You have to, do the Christian duties that you do together, even during dating or being in that relationship. Otherwise, if God's not involved, then the love will be selfish. And God's presence not in there is very dangerous. Then it will be like more physical, emotional than usually being with God. What else?
So obviously you said like God obviously plays a huge role in our
Of course.
relationship. So are we allowed to date outside of Christians?
You mean non-Christians?
Yes.
Okay, that's an interesting answer, question. So, in the Old Testament, in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3, it clearly says, "Do not intermarry with them. Do not give your daughters to their sons, and take their daughters for your sons." So, in talking about the non-believers, it also says that do not yoke together with unbelievers, For what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness? So we said the aim of dating is what? To marry. So what's the use of dating someone that you won't marry? Okay, there's a problem there. The end result is not what you want.
But how about if we, because it's not wrong to be friends with people that are not Christians. So how about if we're friends with this person and we see like, wow, like this person is so great and so kind and all these characteristics, but then religion plays an issue. So like how, because obviously we have to be very, very strong within us to have the ability to show someone the path of God and show someone the light of God. So how can we pretty much like is there a way though, like to?
That's interesting, Angela. I really like that question. So we might call this missionary dating. Some people might say, okay, there's nothing wrong with having non-Christian friends, of course. I mean, God has said to love, everyone. But the idea of missionary dating is that maybe if I date this non-Christian, maybe I'll get him close to God. Maybe I'll get him close to our faith. But that's a possibility or probability that we don't know could or could not happen. Or it could happen vice versa. Maybe that person will take you away from Christ if you're not strong enough. So missionary dating, I don't think we should do. Okay, if we get in there, it's really a bit difficult. But you also have the emotion problem if you get emotionally attached to that person, and the relationship becomes a struggle and not a joy of getting to know that person. What other questions do you have?
Well, I know that a lot of youth go like in and out of many dates, kind of just for fun. How does the church view that?
In and out of dates, so from one person to another person. If they don't like that person, they go and move on to the third.
It's not easy to find the right person. Sometimes you just have to like. So like, what do we do?
I think we're talking about like the small periods,
Like
a
the
week
small
and then
periods,
the next
like
week is
going
somewhere
out on a
else.
date, like oh.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, just get rid of it.
Or like multiple in one time.
Oh, okay.
We call that recreational dating. Recreational dating. It's having a bit of fun here and there. I don't think that person's really his aim is dating for marriage. I think he's just having a bit of fun, and we get a lot of these people around, and they're not young. I mean, I know of people who do recreational dating in their like late 30s, early 40s. I know you're young, so you're not there yet, but I don't think it's right. There's a lot of emotions involved in this, and you'll hurt a lot when you do that, especially if it's girls. If the boy's doing this to the girls, they do get attached to that person, and when he stops and leaves them, then they have a problem. And in the girls are usually more emotional than the boys. And if they get hurt, it's very dangerous because it can disappoint them in future relationships. And then they won't move on. You agree? And sometimes if it becomes love from one side, it can destroy that person. And believe it or not, at the end result could be death. We've seen this before. People commit suicide because their partner has left them. So it's very dangerous. We don't want to go to there. The best thing is to back off from this relationship, because if not, you'll have a lot of broken hearts, especially if he's an expert at this.
So do you think that we should just, if we want to get to know someone, that like how should we go about that? So we can't be going on so many dates because the image of the person will look wrong, the image of the other person will look wrong. So like how should we get to know someone on a very, very pure, basic level, just to see if we want to pursue that for later dates?
I don't think it should start off on one-on-one. The best thing is to go to the church youth meetings, to meet a lot of people, or on church retreats. We have a lot of that here, all over the US and Canada. And if you like someone, just stand there and talk to them. Because I know we all, we all have our own feelings towards, likings towards other people. And there's nothing wrong if a girl goes up to a boy and she likes him and just stands and talks with him. There's no more this idea where the man has to go to the girl to ask them out. No, this new generation, you'd be impressed. Some of the boys are waiting for you girls to go out there and ask them out. I'm not joking. So, if you really like this person, you know a bit about his background, or you ask someone else about him, and you feel he could be, a candidate, why don't you just speak to him in the meetings, or go out in a group, see how he reacts and what he does and what he says. So I think this is really what you should do, and initiate this. So if we go back to what age should we date? I think this is a really important question.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because there's different ideas and different meanings of dates or dating in different age groups. How early can you date?
I think people are ready at like different times.
Yeah, it really depends on the person. Cause like, I'm 22 years old, but like,
You look younger than that,
I'm
Angela.
still, but I'm still in school. I'm still like, like establishing myself as a person, as an individual. So like, bringing in someone else to my life right now is like, that would be a little bit difficult, especially because like we said, like the end goal is marriage. So like, for me personally, bringing in someone at my age but like maybe someone like Christine who's 22 is ready. So like it really depends, I feel like.
But is she ready? Is it just the age? Or is there other factors?
No, there's also, of course, there's so many factors.
It also depends on like how you see yourself. Like if you see that you're mature enough to hold a relationship and be able to be with someone and support them in all the ways, and like at the same time respect God and put God in the relationship, then you can be ready to start dating. But then we talked about like all these aspects of dating, and we said that love has to be there, and then it's pre-engagement, it leads to marriage. But at the same time, we're all here like high school servants and middle school servants, and we get kids that ask us, "Oh, I like someone, or I want to date someone," and we sometimes don't know what to tell them, because if we're talking about marriage and like love is like you're sure this is the right person, then we're not sure if they reach that age yet or maturity.
So if I say, is dating at high school, is that too early?
It seems too early.
In
when you
my-
say it,
yeah.
Okay. Because?
The maturity.
The marriage is
maturity,
not
okay.
in their head
marriage is
too.
not.
Maturity.
But
So,
Abouna, do you think that maybe some people need to go through it and experience it, or like to mature about it? Or do you think that people can like without the experience behind it, do you think that people can automatically go into one relationship and that relationship is marriage?
okay, that's interesting. But through studies, we know that anyone who enters a relationship that young in high school, eventually don't end up marrying that person. We know that for sure. Statistics has proven that. So we, as a church, we prefer that you wait a bit further on in college as you're studying, but do not wait until you finish college to know someone. We have this problem where many people, they're doctors, and it's too late for them to find someone, and their age is much older than they should be. Marrying younger, knowing someone younger is much better than knowing someone older. Although you're much mature, but it's very difficult to find candidates who are at that age. So, if you're in college and you have 2-3 years at the end, and you've met someone, and you think he's the right person, and you've told your confession father and your parents, and it's going great, so the dating becomes courting or engagement, and that's the proper words that we use in our church. Okay, I think this is about it. Our time has run up. We're finishing the episode on dating, and we thank you all for coming and helping us and all these amazing questions. I know there's a lot more questions that you can ask, but we might get you in and ask you other questions about other different topics. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Abouna.
So we'll see you soon in our next episode. You can ask Abouna questions, and you have our email, CYC email. Please join us and ask any questions you want, and we can discuss it with the wonderful youth here in the USA. Bye-bye for now.